I always thought that CDs were guaranteed safe investments, but I recently learned they're actually kind of risky. So CDs, or certificates of deposit, is something that I always thought was a safe investment. Take your money, put it into a CD for a specific amount of time, guaranteed to get the money back you put into it, but whatever rate of return that you had signed up for. Guaranteed. No risk involved at all. I recently learned that's not always the case. There is the traditional CD, which is similar to what I just described. You deposit a certain amount of money with a bank, for example, and they guarantee that within a specific amount of time you will get your money returned to you along with a certain rate of interest. For example, you could buy a 12-month traditional CD and get, let's say, a 4.5% interest. 12 months later, you get your money back with the 4.5% interest. Sounds like a risk-free deal. But I recently learned that there is something called a callable CD. The one I just described, traditional, would be a non-callable CD. But a callable CD, similar, that you would put money into a CD through a bank or a financial institution that's issuing the CD. They tell you it's a certain rate of return, but usually a little higher, let's say 5%. And let's say it's for 12 months. But they have the right to call the CD early. Call meaning end it, take it back. Usually they have the right to call it within 6 months period of time. So let's say instead of 12 months, after 6 months, they say, we're not going to continue on with this CD, we're going to call it, and you get your principal back, and then you will get the rate of return kind of prorated, if you will, just to what you would have earned up to that point when they called it. So this was new to me. I had never heard about that. So it's a new thing that I'm learning about. I wonder if any of you had ever heard about that. One thing that I read about also is that with callable CDs, sometimes they can tell you, let's say you buy a 5-year CD, and it might say it's 12 months non-callable or 24 months non-callable. That means within the first couple of years they cannot call it. But after that, every 6 months after that, they have the right to call it, meaning again, end it, and just pay you the interest up to that point. Now, it's not a bad deal. You still get your principal back, so it is safe in that respect, and you do earn some interest on it, so you do make money. So that is a good thing. But if you are trying to earn a lot of interest and you choose this CD because it pays a higher rate of interest, and then it's called, you kind of lose what you had hoped that you would have gained on it. If you want a guaranteed CD, then you should go with the traditional CD or the non-callable CD. Which is better? Well, it kind of depends. Kind of depends upon your risk profile. It kind of depends upon what you're looking to gain and what your goals are. Usually a callable CD, as I said, offers a higher rate of interest. And a lot of times they cost more, meaning, and when I say cost more, meaning they want you to put more money into it up front. So let's say a traditional CD, you could buy that CD for $1,000. Non-callable, they may have a threshold of it's only $5,000 and up or $10,000 and up or something like that. And then you have to just hope that it doesn't get called so that you could earn the higher interest rate and carry it all out through. But there's always that risk that they can call that early and just pay out the interest up to that point. This benefits the banks or the financial institution that is issuing the CD. And how it does that is because they can watch the interest rates on the market, and the bank can make a decision that they don't want to continue on and pay that higher rate of interest, that they actually want to save some money, pay a little less interest. That is the risk that you take when you choose to buy into a callable CD. Having said all that, I never knew this. And I wonder how much that information is shared with individuals when they are looking to purchase a CD from the bank. And I think maybe because we're focused on it's guaranteed, I'm going to get my principal back, I don't have to worry about it, it's a safe investment. CDs are very safe. And that's kind of the mindset that we often have. And they are safe because, again, you don't lose your principal. It's not like investing in the stock market where that stock can go up and down and you can actually lose what you put into it. So it is safer from that perspective, but there is this risk. You know, sometimes I think in having everything that you have to learn about investing, especially as you're moving into retirement, can become so confusing and so overwhelming. And it's really kind of just like a shell game, right? You're just moving things around and trying to make the best out of all of it and get the best returns at the lowest risks possible. But you know you have to have some risk because that's the only way you can also gain. So it is kind of this shell game that you play back and forth. How are you doing on your shell game? Sometimes it's hard, isn't it? Well, that's all that I have today. I wanted to share all that with you. I hope that it's helpful. Maybe that is not new for some of you. For me, it is very new, and I'm still kind of absorbing and learning about that, but I wanted to share it all with you in case you ever come across that. That's the next piece of information. The next thing I'm learning on my leaf for my tree of life. I hope that you continue to learn. I hope that you continue to join me and subscribe to my channel. If you like this type of content, please give me a thumbs up if you've liked this video, and I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.